and I put my head down and I pushed through that thing, and I kept running, and I get to mile 23, and I'm dying at this point. My body is falling apart. My knees are killing me. My hips are clicking. My face isn't even sweating anymore. It's all crystallized salt all over my face. And I wipe my face, and it feels like burning sandpaper is being dragged across my skin. It's going into my eyes, and I can't see out of my eyes. They're just slits because they're burning. My mouth feels like it's got a cotton ball in it, and I look down at my toes and my shoes, and there's blood working its way up through my shoes because my toes are bleeding through my shoes now. And I just kept going. I'm like, dude, you're not dead, dude. You're not dead. You have no excuses. You can't make any excuses. You're not dead. If you're dead, then you can stop. I kept going, and I get to mile 23, and somebody is handing out water, and I was like, oh, thank God, and I grabbed the water and I put it in my mouth, and it was a cup of beer. I don't drink. It's not my thing. I don't care if you do drink. If you just ran 23 miles and somebody handed you a cup of beer, you would be just as pissed as I was. And I spit it back. I was like, fuck you! And I threw it back at him. And I was like, ah! And I was put my head down. I was running. I was like, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I'm not gonna let anything deter me from finishing this, because you know what? I could be 85 years old sitting on a couch somewhere, and somebody can come up to me and be like, man, you look like shit. And I'll be like, yep, I did a marathon once. What? I get to mile 24, and I'm running, and I see this woman whose eyes roll in the back of her head, and she runs off of the course in through the spectators. I look over, and there's two men sitting on the curb with oxygen masks on. I look over to my left, another man is sitting there throwing up. I see people with urine spots all over them, and I'm like, oh my God, this is what you see. I heard about this. I didn't think it was real. And I'm running, and I was falling apart, and I knew I was falling apart. I just said, 2 more miles, dude, 2 more miles, and no one will ever be able to take this moment away from you. No one will ever be able to take that away from you. And I kept my head down. I was like, you can do this, you can do this. And then I heard something. I was like, what is that sound? I heard this high-pitched sound. I was like, what? I look to my left, and I see 2 dudes running next to me, and they're kind of looking at me all wide-eyed and running. And I was like, why are these dudes looking at me? Do I know you? I look to my right, and I see this woman, and she's staring at me too. And I'm like, why are all these people staring at me? And what is that noise? I take out my earphone, and I hear, "Why, you motherfucker!" And I'm like, what? Who is? It was me. I had lost my shit. I've never been drunk in my entire life. I've never been high in my entire life. I know you're looking at me, you're like, really? You must be lying. No, really, serious. That was the first time in my entire life that I lost it up here. I was not in control of this. And I was screaming obscenities at the road, at the woman next to me, and at God himself. I was like, oh, you can't call the woman next to you, motherfucker. I was like, okay, dude, just keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. And I get to mile 25, and Chicago's a very flat town. We have one hill in the entire town. I could see how it went. This is how it went. At the planning committee, we decided to map the Chicago Marathon. Hold up. I got this awesome idea. You know that one hill we have? You know that one hill we have? Dude, I know we can put it in the beginning, but how awesome would it be to put it at mile 25? Dude, how many people are going to be pissed at that? How great an idea they're going to be. And that's what they did. And I see that hill and I start running. I'm like, dude, where did we get a hill? We only have one hill in the entire city. And I'm running up it, and I'm running up it. And I'm running up this hill, giving it the middle finger. And then I see that final turn, and that's mile 26, and right when you get around 26, you go down 0.2 miles, and that's the finish line. And I see it, I'm like, dude, I'm almost there. I'm like, don't you stop, dude, don't you stop. And I remember this curve. Because this is the one that I saw when I rode my bike up there a couple of years before to watch the marathon, because I wanted to watch the triumphs. And I pulled my little bike up there, and I saw this middle-aged man run up that last hill on mile 25 with tears streaked down his face. And I saw him see his little daughter, this little blonde girl, who couldn't have been more than 4, and he ran right up to her and picked her up, put her on his shoulders, and ran across the finish line with her clapping for her daddy. And I wanted to know what that felt like. And at that moment, I did. And it sucked balls! and I saw it, and I saw it said finish. I saw it. It was right there, and I'm running, and I was like, and I was getting at the finger, and I started screaming, and I was like, you're not dead! You're not dead! Don't you stop! And at this point, I'm foaming at the mouth, and there's a white crust coming down my face, and I'm running. I was like, don't you stop! Don't you? And I watch all the spectators on the side. They're all like, yeah, you guys can do it! Oh, look at that dude! And I didn't care, and I'm running. I was like, oh, come on! And I was running, and I crossed that finish line. I crossed that finish line, and they corral everybody, and they put everybody in the line, and they give them little silver blankets to keep the heat in. They take your little chip off of your shoe, and then they hand you a little medal. It says Chicago Marathon finisher. They hand me this little medal. I took that little medal, and I took one knee, I looked at that thing, and I thought about what that thing meant. That I had done that. I'd finished something. I'd put a lot of effort into something, and I finished it, and I did it. The one kid that everybody said had no heart, the one kid that everyone called fairy feet, the one kid that no one ever believed in, including my friends. I did it. Why did I ever think that I couldn't? Because I believed what all those people said about me. I believed that I wasn't strong enough, that I didn't have the tenacity, that I didn't have the heart to cross that finish line. I believed it. How terrible is that? I did it. I liked that feeling. I liked proving them wrong. I liked learning about who that dude is that looks back at me in the mirror. I liked that.